Flower essences from the witch's garden, plant spirits in magical herbalism, Nicholas Pearson. So if you're anything like me, you've loved the notion of plants and herbs inside of your magic. You've watched wonderful, pretty pictures and videos of these beautiful herbal arrangements and these endless correspondence systems inside of magical things. But it's not necessarily grounded for you, or maybe it's grounded for you and you're looking for something a little bit deeper. This is the piece. After I covered the poison path, I got in touch with Nicholas, and he was just such a wonderful soul. Now do check out for the interview as well, but let me give you like a why I enjoyed this one. And again, this is not necessarily for everybody. This is specific if you're trying to bring those elements into your life. And again, I think something that to me was a little bit misleading of the book, it kind of gives you this idea that you're basically just looking at flower essences, and flower essences can be seen almost like a type of, it's not homeopathy, but it's similar in many regards. He does outline the differences between these two, and we do kind of go into it in the interview as well. But here's why I loved it. So just, he kind of gives you that introduction to a therapeutical system that was researched and how it affected itself. What are flower essences, the history of flower essences, and here he speaks of, I believe it's Edward Bach, the kind of creator of that system, and how he developed his 12 tinctures, and how those correspond to the 12 signs of the zodiac, and how was that looked at to treat the human being as a whole, not just the materialism, but the view of the being as a spiritual being, and how these vibrational medicines really kind of came into being. Then he starts looking at the kind of plant hierarchy from the devas, the plant spirits, all the way to the animus animum, the fundamental driving forces or elemental nature forces, how to then make it. Then he gets into the practical stuff. Then he gives you a very great system. If you were like, because this is where I was like, oh, thank you, I love you, man. And it was because I sucked at categorizing and seeing how I use these things and what's good for what and how does that even connect to my magical practice. And this simple kind of deciphering the language of flowers, almost like a way to understand the correspondences in a nice clean kind of way that matches it nicely, which is really great. Then how to choose flower essences in magic, a massive like little mini grimoire of spells and rituals, various formulatories, and then we move into the plant spirit alchemy, and again how to create spagyrics and how that alchemical process works. And then finally, the directory. This is a gold standard, like in many kind of ways. I just want to start off with that. So if I go to, like very, very, almost close to the middle, it's that big. So again, if you're looking for like a really good reference, like here, let me just look at that. That is over 100 flower essences, and they're just brilliant. So agrimony, there's a process for where it's best utilized as a balm, the element, the planetary signature, zodiac sign, chakra, magical use, therapeutical use, and then a full kind of description, history, lore behind it, and then the next one. Such a great solid kind of dictionary, if you will, for your magical practice on various pieces. And then you kind of step back in that as well now, and you've got so these are the alchemical processes. Yeah, that's the alchemical section. Here is the language, I think. Yes. Oh no, this is the formulatory. So like, what do you do with the different formulas? How do you create the blends? All that kind of stuff. Very, very, very cool. And then this, I'm gonna go back and forth here. Yeah, here's like just a massive list of kind of like spells, prosperity spells, rose bar spells, how to really kind of use this stuff, how to use them in rituals, all that entire process, bottling them, creating talismans and amulets for it, cleansing energies. They're just so great. they're moving out in that spectrum, using flower essences. It's such a great piece. Anyway, I'm not going to go to, I don't feel I need to go any further. Here's that language, such a nice categorization system. Definitely something really worth looking into. If you want just that nice kind of base to really add to your piece, this is definitely it, and I definitely recommend checking it out. That's Flower Essences from the Witch's Garden by Nicholas Pearson, and do check out the interview that's on the channel or coming on the channel depending on when you watch this.